Hello, students. Professor Torres here. As you all know, we will be holding our classes online for the first 2 weeks of the semester, or maybe for an indefinite time. So, I would like to share with you this Etiquette guide for online courses. It is important to recognize that the online classroom is, in fact, a classroom, and I expect certain behaviors when you communicate with me and your course mates. These guidelines on online behavior and interaction are known as netiquette. The purpose of the following information is to help you to be a more effective and successful student when communicating via email, chat rooms, or on discussion boards, as they are part of your online learning activities in the Department of Tourism, College of Business Administration, KMU University. Proper conduct in an online class is just as important as in a face to face classroom, with similar potential repercussions for failing to maintain decorum. Remember that in an online class, it is common for a very substantial portion of your grade to be a function of how well you perform in online discussion areas and other classroom participation activities. Your ability to communicate properly in an online class can be every bit as important to your success as you perform on multiple choice tests and written assignments. So, let's start. First, let's talk about security. Remember that your password is the only thing protecting you from pranks or more serious harm. So, here are 3 tips to remember. First, don't share your password with anyone. Second, change your password if you think someone else might know it. Third, always log out when you're finished using the system. For the general guidelines, I'd like to share with you 11 tips. When communicating online, you should always first treat your professor and course mates with respect in email or any other communication. Second, always use professor's proper title, such as doctor or professor. Third, use clear and concise language. Fourth, remember that university level communication should have correct spelling and grammar. This includes discussion boards. Fifth, avoid slang terms such as what's up and texting abbreviations such as letter U instead of YOU. Sixth, use standard fonts such as Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman. And since my eyes are not so clear, I prefer that you use a size 12 font. Seventh, don't use caps lock feature as it can be interpreted as yelling. And number 8, limit and possibly avoid the use of emoticons such as what you see here on screen. Ninth, be cautious when using humor or sarcasm as the tone is sometimes lost in an email or discussion. 10. Be careful with personal information that both includes yours and others. And last, do not send confidential information via email. Okay. Moving on to another means of communication, there will be times that you will be sending an email. So here are some email etiquette that you have to remember. When you send an email to your professor or course mate, you should first use a descriptive subject line. Tell the recipient what your message is about. Is it a question? Is it a comment? Is it regarding an activity that you would like to follow up? Second, be brief. When I say brief, you can go straight to the point. Emails are intended to be short. Third, avoid attachments unless you're sure that your recipients can open them. Sometimes we have the tendency to insert a link, however, that link cannot be opened. And so when you when you attach something to your email, make sure that it is something that can be seen by the recipient. Fourth one is avoid hypertext markup language or HTML in favor of a plain text. These are complicated forms of communication. Next one, sign your message and have sign your message with your name and have a return email address. More to remember, think before you send the email to more than one person. Does everyone really need to see your message? And last two, be sure you really want everyone to receive your response when you click reply all. And last but not the least, be sure that the message author intended for the information to be passed along before you click the forward button. So in short, think before you send or before you click send. Another way of communicating online is using a message board. A message board is like a blackboard or a whiteboard. The only thing is it's online. So I'd like to share with you some netiquette and guidelines when posting on the discussion board in your online class. First, make posts that are on topic and within the scope of the course material. Second, take your posts seriously and review and edit your posts before sending them. Third one, be as brief as possible while still making a thorough comment. Fourth, give proper credit when referencing or quoting another source. Next one, be sure to read all images in a thread before replying. It's important that you know what's going on in the thread of information before you add information or before you add something on that thread. The next, don't repeat someone else's post without adding something of your own. So avoid that because, of course, as part of courtesy, then you have to have your own words when you participate in a thread. Another point is avoid short, generic replies such as I agree. You should include why you agree or add to the previous point. Another one, always be respectful of others' opinion, even when they differ from your own. There are tendencies that there are different voices um, on a message board. So if it's something that's not the same stand that you have, then respect that post. Another, when you disagree with someone, you should express your differing opinion in a respectful, non critical way. And last two tips, do not make personal or insulting remarks. And more importantly, be open minded. I hope that you learned something from this and would be applying it in an online class. So, with that, I'd like to thank you for listening and looking forward seeing you in our online classes. Thank you.